I'm here today to talk a little bit about Australia versus Silicon Valley, mostly in funding or the concept of funding. But I'm going to do this by telling a little story. We're, as introduced, we've got a couple of companies. VoIP is presenting down at the Carriage Works over the next couple of days. The one company that I want to talk about today is Northbridge. It's a development company. Its cornerstone product that it's developed is a product called NetConnect. Very cool little product. It provides you the ability to access your computer environment from wherever you are, on whatever you got, your iPhone, your Android, your PC, anything like that. And that's been developed now for about 3 years, and it's out in market. But about 2/3 of the way through the development, I had a really good idea. Well, I thought it was a really good idea. I thought everyone else was producing these cloud-based products, these apps you could download. Why don't we do that? So I called in my engineers and my project managers and I said, guys, we're going to do this. So I ended up with a whole lot of very unhappy engineers and unhappy project managers. And they set about, well, they realised they had to go to do this, and they went out and they started to figure out what it was going to take to develop this, how long it was going to take, what are the systems they needed to do. And they went about and did it. Very exciting stuff, very startup, late nights, lots of testing, stuff done on the weekends. It was really, really exciting. And the very day they said it was due, they produced the product. As they did, they wanted to present it. And so they laid out all the systems, and for the very first time with the production code, they showed it. We had people filming it. So there's photographic evidence of probably one of the biggest mistakes I ever made. We all went home, very euphoric in the next day. And it was actually the very next day that one of my marketing guys came up to me and went, Mike, I got a problem with this NetConnect Me, which is what we called it. I went, yeah? He goes, I've been doing some market research. And I thought, I knew I forgot something. It turns out there were, I don't know, about a dozen products that did exactly the same thing, and most of them were free. So I'd created a dud. I'd taken my R&D team off what they were supposed to be doing. I actually took them to a direction that was, well, nowhere. And we ended up with a product that, well, apparently I could give it away. So what happened? In the States, they have, particularly in Silicon Valley and in the innovation hubs they got over there, there's a saying, fail fast, fail often. What does that mean? It essentially means that a bunch of people doing stuff with other people's money, and the other people handing the money to them are very happy to do so. They're called venture capitalists. They seem to have a bottomless well of money they pass on to these innovators, the entrepreneurs, to actually go and build something, do something. What they're actually doing is gambling. They're betting somebody with an idea will work. If it doesn't work, stop, move on to the next idea. So it's sort of like gambling. They're betting on a horse. You bet on enough horses, eventually one's going to get across the line. These guys are doing exactly the same thing. They're betting on these people, hoping for another Google, another Airbnb, or something of the ilk. And the modus operandi is to do it really fast, fail, don't muck around, move on to the next idea. In Australia, we don't have that capacity. We don't have the institutionalised funding that has developed in the States and in some other parts of the world. And I mean it's institutionalised. It's entire business structures around providing money to these entrepreneurs. In Australia, we fail dangerously. It means if you fail, it's very, very hard to move on from there. In my particular instance, we were lucky. We were self-funded, so we could bring all the engineers back into the rooms, all the project managers back in the rooms, and back into the room. We worked out what we had to do with the plan, and the guys went out there and started to finish the development of the original product. Always carrying one of these to prove that, I was to keep my mouth shut. They developed the product and we're in market now. We're selling around the world and in Australia. Actually, proof of concept just finished down at Liverpool Hospital, and the product's been demonstrated down at Carriageworks for the next couple of days, so please drop and have a look. But there is a twist to the tale of the Neck Connect Me story. One of our Japanese partners contacted us asking for some development to be done. I was a little bit gun-shy of doing any more development, but my project managers recognised that the features they were asking for looked remarkably similar to what we'd already developed this Neck Connect Me product. Sure enough, with a little bit of development, the engineers got the product to meet what the customer actually wanted. And I actually only found out last night that the Japanese customers accepted the product, and we're expecting the first 300 customers in the next couple of weeks. The story here is that if we'd followed the American way, fail fast, fail often, we would never have even looked at that product again. It would have gone, we would have moved on. I think what suits the Australian environment better is perseverance and belief in what you're doing. So thanks very much.